Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome to our September Caregiver Solutions. We are focusing this month on caring for those with cancer and resources for caregivers. My name is Dana Cameron. I am a social worker here at Vantage Aging. Caregiver Solutions is a monthly caregiver education program, and we are also excited to be planning a celebration of caregivers. We have an event planned in November. Don't know if all of you know, but November is National Family Caregivers Month, and we wanted to plan something to celebrate caregivers. So we will be hosting an event at House 330 in Akron on Thursday, November 2nd. Please stay tuned for email and our website for updates on how to register for that event. So as I said, today we are focusing on services and supports for those with cancer. Our speakers for today are Sarah Wojtek from Stewart's Caring Place and Christina White from Stuma Health Cancer Institute. Thank you both for being here. I will read a little bit about Sarah. Sarah is the president and CEO of Stewart's Caring Place. As a cancer survivor herself, Sarah understands firsthand the value that Stewart's Caring Place brings to the community. In her role, Sarah oversees development, events, grants, and marketing of the agency. Prior to coming to Stewart's Caring Place, Sarah spent 10 years at the Greater Akron Chamber, first as the events and program manager, and then as the director of member services. After receiving her MBA, Sarah started her career in development at the University of Akron's athletic department, where she worked closely with donors for game day experiences, events, and private functions. Sarah lives with her husband of 14 years and their 2 daughters to keep them very busy. When not supporting her daughters at gymnastics or on the soccer field, Sarah can be found cheering on the Akron Zips, checking out zoos and aquariums with her family, or donning her Mickey ears at Walt Disney World. I was actually going to tease you about bringing those for your presentation, but that's okay. Welcome, Sarah.
Well, thank you. And thank you so much for having me and Stewart's Caring Place today. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in and share my screen if that's okay here. Okay. All right. So we are Stewart's Caring Place. Before we dive right in, I'm going to go ahead and try to show a little video that just gives a visual as to who we are and what we do, and then we'll dive a little bit more into it. So hopefully this works. If not, I can drop the link in the chat for another time.
You're finally mastering Grandma's 12-hour sauce. Your slow top gave out in the 11th hour. Luckily, American Home Shield is there to fix her.
Here we go.
Stewart's Caring Place Cancer Wellness Center, our team of dedicated staff and volunteers believe in providing a supportive, relaxed, and caring environment to complement a traditional cancer treatment plan. We support individuals of any age, phase, or stage of cancer in a holistic environment. Our programs and services are designed to help you navigate your personal journey. We provide access to healing arts such as massage, Reiki, aromatherapy, and reflexology to help calm and relax those who are preparing for treatments. We believe a cancer diagnosis affects more than just the patient. Our doors are open to spouses, children, caregivers, or anyone else whose lives have been touched by cancer. We provide 10 different monthly and bi-monthly support groups and counseling to help work through questions or concerns with a professional or with others who may have had a similar journey. Our family programs and expressive workshops provide an opportunity to enjoy time together outside the home in a calming setting. Strength and exercise classes, a teaching kitchen and food pantry, and wigs at no cost, all in an effort to focus on nutrition, health, and beauty, and to help patients maintain their identity through their cancer journey. Our doors are always open, and our dedicated and compassionate staff is here for you as long as you need us. There is never any cost associated with our care thanks to the support we receive from our community donors, local foundations and corporations, and over 150 volunteers. Stewart's Caring Place is here for anyone who needs us. You can contact us for more information or just stop in to learn more. No appointment necessary. We're proud to serve 18 counties in Ohio and are located in Fairlawn, just off I-77 North. We look forward to being a supportive part of your care team.
Okay. So let me just get back to our presentation here. Okay. So that talked a little bit about who we are and what we do, but we are Stewart's Caring Place. We were actually founded back in 2003 by Stuart Surloff and his wife Mimi, who you see in this first photo here. Stuart was a local doctor here in the area and was diagnosed with cancer. And at the time of his cancer, he had 2 young daughters and his wife at home, and realized that his cancer diagnosis was impacting them mentally and emotionally just as much, maybe if not more than it was himself. And so they sought a place where they could come as a family to receive supportive programs and services. And at the time, there weren't many places in the area that did that. So he unfortunately passed away, but in 2003, his wife Mimi held a community forum to see if someplace like Stewart's Caring Place would be welcomed in this community. And with a resounding yes, they moved forward with creating Stewart's Caring Place. So they started by renting some space and offering a few programs and services. And then over the course of 20 years, we have just grown exponentially. In September of 2020, we moved into our own standalone building here off of Cleveland Maslin Road. You see the picture there of our building. Prior to that, we were renting space, but this is a space that allows us, over 12,000 square feet, allows us to be able to serve all of those in our community who are impacted by a cancer diagnosis. We offer upwards of 150 unique programs and services. Obviously, I'm not going to run through all of them here, but as the video suggested, we really focus on that wraparound services for the patient, the diagnosee, and again, their loved ones, their caregivers, anyone who feels the impact of a cancer diagnosis. So you see here some of our support groups. Again, everything that I talk about is offered at no cost to anyone who comes through our doors and uses our services. Our services are available to anyone impacted by cancer, regardless of age of the person, stage of the cancer diagnosis, or phase of the cancer diagnosis. So what that means is if someone was diagnosed by cancer or has a loved one diagnosed of cancer 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they are still welcome in our doors. We know that there is no timeline for the emotions and mental burdens that are felt with a cancer diagnosis. So we serve anyone regardless of age, stage, or phase of that cancer diagnosis. Again, you see some support groups that we offer listed here. I want to call out specifically for this group. The first one, which is our Ann Amer Brennan Caregiver Support Group. So this is for caregivers only, specific to caregivers, and the topics are discussed and facilitated that are specific to what caregivers may be going through at the time. We also offer holistic care. Obviously, our most popular are some of the massages and Reiki. again, offered at no cost. We are non-medical, meaning these things that we offer are meant for the stress relieving components of a cancer diagnosis. We are known in the community for our wig room. So you see a photo of that wig room here. That is about only 2/3 of our wig room. We have been blessed to have quite the donation of wigs over the years and have accumulated different styles, colors, cuts. So we are fairly confident that people who come to our wig room are able to find a wig that makes them feel as confident as possible when they walk out. We also have accessories, caps, scarves, all kinds of things that help people really feel as confident as possible as they are going through this cancer journey. You see mentioned here, we also offer several physical fitness classes. And with the wig room, also we have different beauty classes, again, to help with the confidence and the emotional piece of what a cancer diagnosis might look like. Some of our most popular programs are our family programs. Again, we know that families are impacted by a cancer diagnosis, seeing a loved one go through a treatment or other areas of the cancer diagnosis. So we try to bring families together and plan things so that they have some quality time, some things to make memories, some things to really just enjoy each other's company without having to worry about planning it themselves. So you see some of our family programs listed here. Our popular ones, of course, are our holiday parties. Halloween's coming up, so we do a Halloween party, and then we have a winter and spring holiday parties, and then we do summer camps for children. We know that sometimes children, when they're home during the summer months and again see a loved one going through cancer treatments, that can be hard, and so it gives the children a little break, something to look forward to, and then of course it gives the loved ones or the parents or grandparents a break as well. You see other activities listed here. We have some outdoor activities. We have what we call connectivity and friendship. Really just trying to hit on all the things that go into a cancer diagnosis and the support that we can provide. One thing I'd like to call out, you're going to hear from Christina White here in a little bit, but I have cooking classes on here. We have a beautiful teaching kitchen, and with the help of Christina and some of the dietitians at SUMA, we've been able to really teach some cooking classes that are really impactful. Oftentimes with cancer diagnosis, there are dietary restrictions or certain ways of eating that are recommended or suggested, and that can be overwhelming. That can be overwhelming for a caregiver to try to learn how to cook that way or to be able to support the cancer diagnosis in that way. So we've started to bring in dietitians and some local chefs to help show that cooking can be enjoyable, that food can be flavorful. You just maybe have to alter the way you think about it a little. These are a handful of our individualized services. Some to call out and that you saw in the video is that we do offer a food pantry. Again, during cancer diagnosis and after, the medical bills start to unfortunately pile up. And it's not always about the financial burden either. Sometimes going to the grocery store or meal planning is just one more thing to think about. And so for that reason, we have a food pantry here. So individuals or families are able to come in here once a month and get what we call a food share or a grocery bag, enough for a few weeks of meals. So that they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about finding the money to go to the grocery store or finding the energy to go to the grocery store and meal plan. I also wanted to call out that we have financial and legal consultations, and we do offer short-term counseling. So what that means is we have licensed counselors that can come on site and meet with individuals and families short term. So that means up to three times. If after that it is determined that there needs to be additional support, we have practices that we are able to refer out to so that those individuals and families can continue to get the support that they need. These are just some reminders, some things, some misconceptions about us. Again, everything that I talked about is offered at no cost. So we are fully funded by the generosity of this community. So we are non-medical, as I mentioned. We do not bill insurance. We do not receive government funding. So everything that we are able to offer is because of the generosity of this community and the partnerships and collaborations that we have formed. We do offer hybrid options. A majority of our programs and services remained hybrid after the pandemic because what we know is that oftentimes people aren't able to get to us because of transportation issues, or they may not feel well enough, or they may not be able to be in a place where there's other people due to their treatments or being immunocompromised. So majority of our programs and services are offered hybrid. Because of that, we have been able to reach into 36 counties here in Ohio. So people can attend a support group from wherever they are. They can participate in our yoga from their own family rooms. And then again, all of our programs and services are available to anyone impacted by cancer. It doesn't have to be just the patient or the diagnosee. So anyone who feels the impact of a cancer diagnosis from a loved one are welcome and through our doors. So how to get started, if there's anything that I mentioned that anyone is interested in learning more about, you can visit stewartscaringplace.org, and there is something called a participation form on there. It is just a way to collect some data about either yourself, if you're filling it out, or if you're filling it out for someone else, just as a way so that our staff knows when they call back where you're coming from. It's just brief, it takes about 5 minutes. We try to guarantee that once a participation form is submitted online, that you will hear back from one of our staff within 48 hours. Again, they will pick up the phone, they will call, and they will just get to know a little bit about you or what you're looking for, and then they'll be able to connect you to all of our programs and services. You can always just call into our front desk, which the phone number is listed there. And again, someone can walk you through the form, fill it out with you, or get you the help you may need. And our doors are always open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Our address is right there, Ridge Park Drive, as I mentioned, off of Cleveland Mathlan Road. And so we are always happy to see anyone who wants to stop by, even if it's just for a tour, just to get to see more of what we're able to offer here at Stewart's Caring Place. So with that, I think that's it for me. I am happy to take questions.
I had a comment. I toured your building recently, and I love that it includes not just the person who's diagnosed with cancer, who of course is enduring all of those things that come along with that, but of course in doing this program with caregiver education, the importance of the caregivers and the loved ones who are also affected by that. I think that's such a powerful thing and something that sometimes is forgotten. So I appreciate that you all, it's really wraparound services for those who love that individual as well.
Yeah, thank you. As I mentioned, Dr. Surloff, Stewart, his wife was his caregiver, and he saw what a toll this diagnosis was taking on him. So they were very strategic about if they were going to offer these programs and services, that they wanted to offer everyone the same program and service.
I love that. Does anyone have any questions? We'll see if anybody thinks of any, or if anyone wants to put it in the chat too.
This is
Thank you so
Jan.
much.
I'm sorry if I missed it, but is there a referral process, or because you're non-medical, can anybody just come in and stop at the desk and sign up?
Yes, yeah, there is no referral process. We do collaborate with the hospitals, oncology units, social workers as a resource, so they know about us and can refer patients and families to us. But our doors are open to anyone impacted by cancer. So if you just happen to pop in, we are here. You can call the front desk. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be referred to us to use our programs and services.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And like I said, if anybody thinks of other questions, you can put them in the chat box or let us know. And now I will introduce our second speaker. Christina White is the Director of Supportive and Integrative Programs from Summa Health Cancer Institute. Thank you also for being with us today.
Thanks. I also have with me Gina Daniels. She's one of our oncology social workers as well. So let me share my screen, and I apologize ahead of time because I'm so bad at this. You know your strengths. This isn't mine.
It's okay. I'm sure you have many others, so that's okay. Thank you both for joining us.
Can you guys see it, or is it weird?
We can see it. So that's good.
First try.
That's great. So you set us up, and now it just worked perfectly.
So as you just said, I'm Christina White. I'm the Director of Supportive and Integrative Programs at Summa Health. I've been with Summa since 2010, I believe. So quite a long time. The majority of that has been in oncology, where I think I found my home. So supportive and integrative and survivorship programming is really my passion. And I work really hard to try to build our programs and partner with other organizations like Stewart's to try to make sure that we're filling in gaps and offering our patients and their care partners as much as we possibly can to make this difficult journey even just a little bit less difficult for them. So did it go to the next slide? I don't think it did. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so but it's not me. I'm like this much of that puzzle. So I thought I would introduce you to the team, which I started on this slide putting all their pictures, but it got way too much because I am surrounded by so many unicorns. It's amazing. So we do have 7 nurse navigators caring for oncology patients spread across 3 different centers. We have our main center in Akron, the Cooper Cancer Pavilion, the Parkview Pavilion in Barberton, and then our Medina Medical Center in Medina, obviously. And that goes from our largest to our smallest. So we have 7 navigators, RN navigators spread out throughout. We have 3 patient support navigators as well. Those 3 ladies are doing wig fittings. They're scheduling for our uninsured mammography program, our multidisciplinary clinics. So they're doing a mixture of different things, our resource library. They're there for patient support and are less clinical. We have 3 financial support navigators, which is a huge role at Summa Health. We take that piece of the cancer puzzle very seriously. Financial toxicity affects so many cancer patients and their care partners. It's staggering the amount of people that affects, even in the smallest way. So we do a lot of work around this piece and trying to find resources for rent and mortgage and utilities. And we've found someone to pay for a mattress for a patient before, gas, groceries, whatever there is that's causing some sort of financial burden. And then the obvious, their medical bills and to pay for their prescriptions and the cost of chemo in general. The average, this is a little bit of an older study, so this number has only grown. But years ago, the average breast cancer diagnosis costs about $360,000. So And breast cancer is one of the easier ones to treat. So that number only gets bigger from there. And like I said, that's an older statistic, so it's much larger now. So the cost of cancer care is exorbitant, and in its wake is so much financial toxicity. We have 2 dietitians. They have been collectively with SUMA for more than 60 years. So they have a ton of experience under their belts, and they are the ones that have gone to Stewart's and helped with the cooking demos, and they're meeting with our patients on a daily basis, trying to help them get through treatment. And in some cases, especially with our head and neck cancers, the dietitian is sometimes just as important as the oncologist with getting that patient through into survivorship because they're unable to eat. So we also have 3 social workers, one of which joined me today. Our social workers as well, they're working on transportation, and they're working with our financial navigators, they're working with our dietitians. I would say our whole team is working hand in hand to try to make sure that our patients have this warm hug surrounded around them. And I think at the center of that is our social workers. Gina, I don't know if you want to add anything else about the myriad of job responsibilities that you have.
Yeah, I mean, and just emotional support. You know, she's going to talk in a minute that we have a psychologist, but if they're waiting, you know, if they're working on getting an appointment or just need someone to check in that day, emotional support is a big component, along with the community resources, food and gas and things like that, because we don't want patients to be focusing on, like, I'm hungry or I can't pay my bills, when they're supposed to be focusing on getting better and using their energy to get better. So that's one of our main goals.
Yeah, and you know, just a side note to that, with COVID came a ton of mental health issues for everyone, not just cancer patients. So, you know, since the pandemic started, and even now as it's, quote, finished, you know, we have seen an uptick in mental health and the need for emotional support more than ever before. So, you know, these ladies are running their tails off, supporting our patients, their care partners, and also our staff. You know, we saw a huge emotional piece through the pandemic with our staff as well. So one of our social workers actually created a almost an employee support group, really, for our whole system through mindfulness, which is still going on. We just had it yesterday, actually. We meet monthly. So their job has only grown over the last few years. And then we, as Gina mentioned, we also have a behavioral health psychologist that travels to all 3 of our centers as well. We do also have 3 integrative therapists, and I say integrative therapists because they're doing more than just massage therapy. They're all 3 licensed massage therapists, but they're also providing Reiki, polarity therapy, you know, just acupressure, a whole myriad of different body work that they provide in a setting which is a little bit more medically based than spa based. So actually a lot more medically based than spa based. So in these integrative sessions, our therapists are working on side effect management. You know, it's amazing the work that they can do without the intervention of a medication. So they're alleviating pain, they're alleviating fatigue, nausea, constipation, all of the things that come with a cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment. They're able to work on those in a medical setting with the oversee of a physician team as well, to make sure that nothing is contraindicated or any of that. We also work on lymphedema support through that. We work on speech and swallow issues with our integrative therapists. So so much more than just you know, relaxation and stress relief, which are also huge pieces to that puzzle as well. We also have a palliative care nurse practitioner, and then we also have a palliative care physician that's on staff now as well. And then I also put our management support team there. We have a manager of patient financial advocacy. She also is in charge of our oncology billers and coders. We have found that integrating that into the support team helps as well when we can talk to each other and kind of melt that team together. And then myself, and then my boss, the system director of oncology as well. We are very blessed to have a very supportive administrative team, and our medical director, Dr. Mahesh, I have to give him a shout out because he's probably my favorite physician in the whole world. And we are so blessed to have him here. And he is our biggest cheerleader. I'm sure Gina can attest to that. He has really moved the needle for us to be able to build the program that we have. And then these are just a listing of some of the services that we offer through supportive and integrative programs. And then I wrap survivorship up into that as well. So I mentioned navigation in all kinds of different flavors, financial counseling, nutrition counseling, psychosocial support. We have a few different support groups. Our main general support group is virtual. It has remained virtual since COVID started. With the intent that we will eventually bring back a in-person component as well, but that what we learned from COVID is that virtual component needs to stay. There are a number of people that we're reaching that we weren't reaching before because we didn't offer a virtual platform. And as Sarah mentioned, you can cast a much wider net this way as well. We also have a gynecologic oncology survivorship group that meets as a cohort. It's a year-long cohort, and we're actually wrapping up that cohort next week. And then also a new survivorship workshop that's getting ready to start in a couple weeks as well. We have artistic healing. We do not have a art therapist on staff here, but we do have an artistic healing program. So we've taken some of that therapy, that official therapy component out of it, and have just provided some artistic support. We've done some workshops. We did a whole summer series of, just some relaxation and mindfulness through art. They made jewelry one day. They did something with succulents. There's just different little artistic healing workshops that we work on. And then I mentioned the massage therapy program, palliative care. We also have a wig salon at our Akron and Barberton locations, both of which have been provided to us through philanthropic support. Like Stewart's, our wig program is completely free. Patients can come be fitted for a wig. Gina and myself are actually two of the people that fit people for wigs. And they get a brand new wig from us. We can also custom order if they don't see anything that we have. We have a little over 100 wigs that we keep on hand, trying to make sure that we fit the needs of most everybody. But we try not to let them leave here unless they're completely happy with the selection that they've made. And then for those that maybe we weren't able to help them, we definitely send them to Stewart's as well as whenever a patient returns a wig to us after they're done with treatment, we do send them to Stewart's because I think they have the most amazing program of taking those used wigs and being able to launder them and give them life again to new people. So thank you guys for doing that. That's a great program. We also have cold cap therapy. So for anybody that is not familiar with what that is, it is a way to try to keep your hair when you're going through chemotherapy. It's relatively new therapy. It's exactly like it sounds. You wear this silicone fighter pilot looking helmet thing, and it is frozen to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, and the patient wears that throughout their treatment. So for a breast cancer patient, that may be here 6 or 7 hours for treatment, they wear that cap for about 8 to 9 hours that day. It freezes the hair follicle, which stops the chemo from getting to it, so that hopefully it then prevents your hair from falling out. It is successful in some kinds of cancer. Breast cancer is the most successful. It depends on the drug regimen that you're on. And there's also a lot of other factors that go into it. So it's not for everyone, but we do have that available to us, again, through philanthropic support. So we're able to provide those to our patients for free. And not just Summa patients either. It's anyone going through a cancer diagnosis experiencing hair loss. But it is something you have to start on your first day of treatment. It's not something that you can start halfway through because the damage is then already done. I mentioned before also we offer mindfulness. It's something I'm really into and I find helps and is something that you can keep in your pocket no matter where you are. It's not something that you need an extra tool for or anything else. It's something that you can do anytime, anywhere, for both patients and their care partners and our staff as well. We offer physical therapy here, occupational therapy, speech therapy, lymphedema support. We've done cooking demos here. We've also partnered with other organizations like Stewart's to do cooking demos there. We've created our own cookbooks specific to cancer. We've done so far a plant-based diet cookbook with recipes focused more on a plant-based diet. And our brand of plant-based diet is not strictly vegetarian or vegan. It is just incorporating more plant-based proteins into your diet and trying to eliminate some of the animal proteins to try to create a little bit less cancer risk recurrence. And then we also, our latest one was a smoothie cookbook that I think that was the last one we did at Stewart's. Was a smoothie demo with some types of cancers, head and neck specifically. There's issues with swallowing and also a lot of other cancers have mouth sores and whatnot. So one really good way to get nutrition is through smoothies. So our dietitians put their heads together and came up with some recipes and created a book. And it's a fabulous book that we actually hand out to all of our head and neck patients now, just routinely, in order for them to get the nutrition that they need. They're kind of higher calorie, easy to take in. And then we also provide a lot of education. Every newly diagnosed patient here at Summa gets one of our education binders, which you can probably see sitting behind me. It's a pretty thick binder that's pretty much got everything but the kitchen sink in it that we provide to our patients, and questions and answers, and what to do if I have a side effect, or what do I do if I need to call a nurse, when do I go to the ER, eating hints, chemotherapy, radiation. It's got everything in there, as well as, you know, what all of our support services are, how to get a hold of somebody. And then one of our newest things is these restorative videos that we just created at the end of last year. And I don't know if this video will work, but it's a series of gentle exercise, yoga for side effects, mindfulness. It's a series of videos in order to help anybody, really. I mean, we've made the videos so that they're pretty much user-friendly for anyone. So I've done the videos myself. I know a lot of our patients have, our care partners. They're just meant to be helpful. Let's see if I can click it and see what happens. Nope. Did I lose it?
I think so.
Oh. Stop share. Oh, I broke it. See? I got cocky, guys.
No.
Well, now I can't get it back. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Somehow it shut my PowerPoint down.
Oh. There's something about videos. It always seems to mess something up. I don't know why.
Yeah, it said no. It said, I don't think so.
Not today.
Okay, I apologize.
No, it's okay. I always say on Zoom, there has to be some type of technical difficulty. It's just usually how it goes. There's
Yeah.
always something with virtual. Virtual is great, though. I love that you all have incorporated more virtual for access to people. That was going to be one of my comments, was I think that's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, we kind of didn't have a choice, right?
Right. True.
With COVID, okay, here it's back. I'm just on a different slide. With COVID, we didn't have a choice. You know, we still had a huge need. Cancer didn't stop.
Right.
And the need for support was only growing. So we were at one point, this is kind of a sidebar, but we were at one point mandated to work from home for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, what are you supposed to do? These people they still had financial issues, if not more now. They still had a need for a wig. They still had a need for support. They still had all of these needs. So I was doing wig fittings from my living room via Zoom. That was cute. I named my head Rebecca. She sat like right here and she had really pretty brown hair, and my kids loved her. They thought it was great. But we had to make it work, right? Poor Gina actually started with us during the pandemic, right as soon as the pandemic started, and somehow stayed with us, which I commend her for. But we couldn't stop, right? That wouldn't have been fair to our patients. So we had to keep things virtual, and it worked. And we found where we had gaps that we didn't realize we had. So like that was a silver lining, I think, that came out of COVID. And so these are some external resources, and this is not even a fraction of the external resources and partnerships that we have. And Gina can speak to more of them, but I just wanted to highlight some of the big ones. So Stewart's Caring Place, we refer a lot, if not all, actually, technically we refer all of our patients to Stewart's. We have their literature and flyers and everything in our education binder. So already preloaded. So every single patient gets that binder that's newly diagnosed here. So, and then when we're talking to them during our chemo teach or radiation or whatever it is, we're going through that binder and we're mentioning Stewart's. And then Gina's mentioning Stewart's. And then I'm mentioning it when we do a wig fitting. And then, so they're being referred to Stewart's 20 times over when they come to us, because Stewart's has everything under one roof, and so many more services than we're able to offer here, being a health system. And then, a huge shout out, and I think you saw this name on Sarah's presentation as well, the Stephen A. Communal Jr. Family Cancer Foundation. It's a mouthful, but oh my gosh, such a wonderful foundation. They provide so many resources to our patients. We would honestly not have the program that we do without them. They're providing gas and grocery gift cards to our patients that are in need. They're providing food shares, like Sarah had mentioned. Actually, Monica from the Communal Foundation is picking one up from you today, Sarah, and she's bringing it here to Summa. So that's another like little circle that we all have, that we're all connected together, and it's just a beautiful thing. Rent and mortgage assistance, utility assistance. I think they're actually the foundation that provided the mattress for the patient. They've helped get rid of bed bugs. Just all of the things. There's always the out-of-box thinkers as well. So if there's a need, they're definitely going to try to meet that need for our patients and for their care partners. We work with Not Just October a lot. They'll mow a patient's grass. They'll pay for a laundry cleaning service. There's a ton of things that they'll do for our breast cancer community. The Leukemia Lymphoma Society provides a lot of grants, upwards of $7,000 to help towards treatment, which is huge. The American Cancer Society, Komen Northeast Ohio, SCAT, the Area Agency on Aging. Gina, I'm sure you know a ton more, but there's just a ton. It takes a village to provide for a cancer patient and to support them. So We would be fools not to lean on our community partners in order to get that job done. Anything to add, Gina?
No, the only other one is we do a lot of the breast cancer grants, like the Karen P. Nacon and the Josette Bedell and those breast cancer specific grant applications as well to help patients in need.
Yeah, you know, and that's a good point too. I think I skipped over drug manufacturers. You know, I mentioned how expensive it was to treat a breast cancer patient. A lot of our drug manufacturers will have copay assistance cards or drug replacement. So there's one drug that's like $90,000 per shot. And these patients get these like every 3 weeks. They can do drug replacement for that as well, which saves the patient $90,000. You know, we really have to look creatively and look at these resources to make them work for the patients, because, you know, without it, it's not uncommon to hear a patient say, well, it's just forget it. I'm not going to be able to get treatment then, because they worry about leaving their family in financial ruins. And then any questions?
I do a lot of intake for Meals on Wheels, and when I talk to potential clients, they often have multiple things going on. And I was wondering, how do patients find their way to you? Are oncology offices within SUMA automatically sending referrals, or?
Yeah, we have a lot of different funnels in. Like I said, that binder has my business card is in there, Gina's business card is in there. Every single one of those people that I mentioned to you, they're preloaded in there. And then on top of that, there's always the medical offices are referring to us. The patients themselves are just coming into the building and finding flyers or whatever, and they're self-referring. We refer a lot to one another. Gina, specifically, she works at our Barberton office primarily. And in that Barberton office, she shares an office with the dietitian and the financial navigator. So a lot of times, like when I'm working at Barberton, I see the three of them really caring for the patient as one unit. They're bouncing off of each other, and they're knowing, they all know what each other offers, and they know how to leverage that when working with the patient. So it's really beautiful to see. And I would say all of our support services really runs that way, as this just nice family that really works well together and bounces off of one another. And we're very fortunate in that. And like I said, we have the support of our providers as well, which I think is a huge piece. I've worked other places that we haven't really had that. But the providers here definitely believe in what we do and support us in that. And I think that's huge.
I agree that I'm sure that helps things work so much better when you have all that support and collaboration going on.
Yeah.
And when a patient calls in, can they call into SUMA's number and ask for the Cancer Institute if they don't quite know exactly what they're looking for?
Yep. And in fact, like even when you like Google it, the number that you find goes to one of our patient support navigators. And so, yeah, and so they'll know how to get you where you need to go if they can't answer the question. So we've done it that way so that you're making sure that you're funneled in the right direction without having to bounce 100 different places.
That is helpful. I know I'm most familiar with the patient navigator kind of title. And when I looked up your website, you have several different titles. So I wasn't sure exactly, like if they don't know who exactly to go to. So that is helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and everybody works so closely together too. So even if you get somehow to me or to Gina, and that's not where you need to go, chances are we know where you need to go. And we know that person, and we can get you to the right person.
Good. Okay, that's good to know.
And there's my contact information, actually, if anybody needs it.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Well, thank you both so much for speaking to us today. This is such valuable information. And for myself as well, as a social worker, I always love having more knowledge of the resources in the community, and it's really helpful to me as well. So I do thank you. And for next month, for our next event on Tuesday, October 10th, we will be having a speaker regarding services, veteran services. So I hope people will join us for that as well. And hope you all have a good day.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.